Hello Stampers, I'm Kelly Atchison at stampabove.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. I'm an independent demonstrator in the United States. Today I have a special treat for you. It is the Totally Techniques Design Team's blog hop. We are featuring the Starburst Technique today. Everybody's going to be making projects with this technique, and I have two different ways that I have made it or use the technique to share with you today. I am in need of a couple more Christmas cards. So I am going to be using the Peace and Joy bundle. I love these with the dies. Oh, delicious. And also the Christmas means more. And I think this year Christmas really does mean a little more, right? So let's flip this camera around and I will show you this wonderful technique, two different variations. And then at the end of the video, you can click in the upper right-hand corner and you're going to have a link that'll take you to my blog where you can hop along and see what the other design team members did with their Starburst technique. Remember, these are Stampin' Up! Demonstrators from all over the world, so it's super fun to see everybody's projects. Okay, we're ready to flip. Now today for my Starburst technique, I chose to use the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper. These are gorgeous real life photos of, and then turned into Designer Series paper, of winter feels like frost, and they are absolutely incredible. The photography on these are just so pretty. Then the backs are all silver foil in various patterns. We have some snowflakes, we've got some spriggy deals. There's even there's some polka dots, some stripes, but oh, this paper, if you have not gotten your hands on some of this, it is retiring. Our current holiday catalog is ending on January 4th. So I did look in the store before I decided to share this with you today to make sure that this paper was still available. And by the way, if you are in the United States and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to earn your business. You can find my store on my blog, and then this is my current host code. If you have any questions, let me know. Also, let me know if you would like the new catalogs that are coming out. Starting January 5th, we have Celebration and also a January to June spring mini catalog coming out. I'd be happy to mail those to you. So get in touch with me via email. All right, here we go. I'm going to start off with my card base. This is 5.5 by 8.5. I've already scored it at 4 1/4. This is our Whisper White thick cardstock. And I'm going to burnish that edge good. And then I'm going to stamp the inside right away because otherwise I start gluing things together, and you should never glue things together until you have your stamping done. So what if you make a boo-boo? If we make a boo-boo, we can turn this right side inside out. And we can put our layer over the front. So why did I make this way over here? This isn't centered. I am using Highland Heather, and we are going to put a little decoration right over here. So that's why I've kind of got it off center. You guys may have noticed if you follow me, I am in my new studio. My background looks a lot different, and I'm in my new stamping studio. I'm absolutely loving it so far. Kind of feeling it out to see what kind of changes I need to make or additions or move this or that, but I don't have it decorated yet. And Haley's coming over on Saturday to help me do that, so I'm pretty excited about that too. All right, so I've got a 3/4 inch strip of the Feels Like Frost foil side paper and a 1 inch strip of the Highland Heather. My card is 5.5 inches tall, so that's the size of my layer here. And I'm just going to leave a little bit of a white margin on the right side. Doesn't that look pretty? That is just a really pretty inside, and now I'm ready to put together or glue anything onto the front. Okay, as long as I have my ink out here, I'm going to take my scrap of Highland Heather and I'm going to stamp from the Peace and Joy stamp set. So you get bright, peace, joy, all of these little elements, and then these tiny little words. And I love these. I've got the to the world, and that's what I just stamped on here with Highland Heather ink. And then we're going to cut that out. And then I promise we're going to get to the technique. This is all the prelim working up to the technique so then I can show you the whole card. And I'm just cutting this out with my snips. I'm leaving a little bit of border around the stamped image. I don't know, I just like that look. I think it looks nice when you do that. Or if you cut it out like this, there's no border around the top. Some days you have better cutting than others, right? It will be fine. Okay, so now we're done stamping. And I'm going to just set this aside. Now I've got a piece of 3 3/4 by 5 white cardstock. And what we're gonna do for this particular technique is I am going to be using this purple paper, okay, the purple print, and I am going to take and cut this into 1.5 inch strips. So this is 6 inches, so 1.5 by 6. And I'm just gonna take, now you could use your scraps to do this if you wanted to, but I want this specific pattern and color. So we've got all of these, and now you're gonna cut them on a diagonal from one corner to the next corner, just like this. Okay, so this is what we'll end up with. And I'm gonna do that to the rest of these. I will be right back. Okay, so you're gonna need a pile of these. How many? Well, we'll figure that out as we go, but you just want a bunch of little strips. I also have cut a bunch of strips of this particular pattern. We're gonna be using this side here. So what I'm gonna do here is bring in that 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece, and there's several different ways that you can do this Starburst technique. But one really cool way is you need to know where is your center going to be. So what I'm going to do is just take one of my pencils and I'm going to draw a little grid here, and I want my center to be right here. Okay? Now we can start adding our pieces together. And when I need some shorter ones, this was 3 inch and then cut diagonal strips. These shorter ones I can use up here. I'm going to need some longer ones down here. So that's why I have 2 different sizes. So this was 1.5 by 3. This was 6 by 3, all cut diagonally. So the best way I've found to do this, and I've made several of these, is to take my glue. I'm going to add glue to this top upper quadrant. That's what I was trying to say, quadrant, this square up here. And I am going to keep my center close right here to where my lines intersect. Okay, so we got that. And then I'm gonna go with this side, and I'm just gonna kind of alternate these back and forth. Let's see. I'm gonna put, oh, we're gonna go with another purple one, and then we'll bring in that solid. You alternate them the way that you want to, but this is how you do it. You're just gonna go around and add these in. Now, when you're putting these on the corners, you have to make sure that your designer paper is covering up that corner. So you make sure you're using a piece that is long enough to do that. I'm gonna come in with a little bit more glue. And here comes my purple. I love the purple in this. I just think it's so, so pretty. And then here comes another one of these. Push that together good. Here comes some more glue. And another purple. And then another one of these solids. And another purple. Isn't this easy? It's easy and it's fun. And depending on what kind of paper you use, you don't have to use designer paper. You can use solid colored images. Oops, I think I just, oh, I don't think that'll fit on here. Hang on. Oh, here's one. But you can use solid cardstock. You can use glimmer paper. That's really pretty to do this in. All kinds of different options. You can make a masculine card. This would make a great masculine card with masculine colors. I wouldn't use pink or anything, but I think that would be really pretty. Comes some more glue. All right. I'm going to start just overlapping this area right here a little bit so we can get around this corner good. Oops, I need another purple one. Because this is, each one of these is going to turn out a little bit different. So just know that. Here comes another one. And now I can start using my little ones again. And I need a solid one. Here we go. And another little purple one. A light one, and a purple one, and a solid one again. And I think we're going to put something right over this area. So I'm going to pull this down until it kind of covers up all the white. You can see the white space right here. It's going to cover up all the white space, just like that. I'm going to add a little bit of glue right here, and then I am going to just trim this off. And I know that looks really weird right now, but give me a moment. So now this craziness that's going on the back, I'm just going to grab some of my cheapo scissors here. These are my gift wrapping scissors, actually. And now we're going to cut this off. And you can use these scraps that you're cutting off for another round of this in just a different type of a shape or fashion. And I'm just using my white layer to guide where I'm cutting. And look at this. Isn't that cool? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we are going to take some scraps. So I've got, oops, this isn't a scrap. I've got my Highland Heather scrap, a silver foil scrap, and a Whisper White scrap. And I'm going to bring in these joy dies that go with the Peace and Joy stamp set. And let's find the ones that we need. I know that this is a big fluffy joy, and I'm going to die cut that on the Highland Heather. Then I've got my more defined joy is going to go on the Whisper White. And then I've got a really nice little joy here. Okay, you can tell this is a real thin outline of joy. That's going to go on my silver foil. And I've already, for the most part, cut these out. But I wanted to bring in my adorable little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This thing is so stinking cute. And I've been using it. I love that it fits right here on my desk. And you get all the plates that you need to go with this. Oh, hang on, I need to cut this. And it's great for all these little layers. because normally I would get up and walk over to my machine because it takes up such a substantial amount of space on my desk that I don't usually keep it on my desk, right? But this little machine I can keep right here, and we have those little embossing folders too now that are super cute. But any of your smaller dies will fit right through here. This thing is very, very smooth. I really like it. And here, oh, our joy is supposed to be made out of silver. I've already got that cut out though. I cut out the wrong one. But anyways, there you go. Cute little embossing machine. I love this thing. These are $60. They are going to be available to the public starting on January, I believe 1st or 5th. I can't remember. But in January, they're going to be available to everybody. Okay, so what I've done is I've cut out the joy in all 3 layers. So we're going to stack these together, and this is really cool. I've got another card to share with you also that uses the word bright that's in here. So you get peace, joy, and bright in these 3-step embossed layers that are so neat. And this just goes right on here like this. You're just gonna center it on there. Oops, hang on, I got some glue on my hands. And here comes our silver one. Now, if you're gonna do a couple of these, several of these, I would recommend getting out your silicone mat and using a sponge with your glue. You squirt it onto your silicone mat, sponge it on the back of this piece. But since I'm only doing one for you right now, I just added my little bit of glue here. Look at how fancy this is. Oh my goodness, isn't that pretty? Okay, now I'm going to put that on some dimensionals. And then I'm going to show you what I did with my Starburst card. Here it comes. And I'm going to take this. See, my joy is going to cover up that seam right there. Isn't that cool? And then I'm going to take this piece and add some mini dimensionals. And I think I'm going to use the edges on this piece. So you get all these nice little thick edges that you can use. Where did my piece go? Did you guys? Oh, here it is. That's an easy piece to lose. I'm gonna just do this. And this is the one where we stamped to the world. I'm gonna put that right down here in the corner. We're going to add this to our Highland Heather layer. And it's just got that nice little 1/8 inch margin. Well, it's actually a 1/16 of an inch on all 4 sides. Oops, hang on, I got a little fray there. This is crooked, so let me get this straight. That makes me crazy. And then here's our card base. We're gonna put that right on here. I see a little piece sticking out right here. This is sticking out. That will make me crazy. So I'm gonna trim it. There we go. Last but not least, I like to add some little embellishments. And I just thought that the our rhinestone jewels would look really nice on here. And it's just gonna give it a tiny little bit of bling. What do you guys think? Isn't that pretty? I would definitely do a matching envelope flap with the designer paper because that's going to be really spectacular. But this is the Starburst. You see the burst, the Starburst out of the center here. Now there's another way to do this. I have another card made. I'm just going to show you a little bit about doing it another way. So I've got, again, I'm using the same size cardstock. This is 3 3/4 by 5, and I am going to do the same thing. I am going to kind of put a line here, and then you can measure if you want, but I'm just putting a line in the middle, okay? And then we're going to take our bits and pieces. Okay, so here's some more pieces. I cut these 4 inches long. These are the long ones that were left over from our first card that we made. And now we're gonna do pretty much the same thing, but here's going to be our point, our center point. So let me show you how this works. You wanna make sure you get glue in the outside corners here. So I am going to keep my point up here fairly small. And here we go. Okay, so I like to start kind of right there in the middle. And then I'm going to come in. Here we go again. I'm just going back and forth, back and forth. Again, you want to make sure that you're getting all the way out here to this corner so you don't skip that. Comes another one. And I think I'm just going to grab one of these old pieces. Okay, most of this is going to be covered up, so I'm just going to cut this and add it right in here. Okay, now we have to do the other side. And again, just with the back and forth, just like we did the big one, only we're not going to go all the way around. Right here. And one more piece. I'm going to get a little bit more glue right here. And add this piece right there. Now, we're going to do the same thing by cutting it off using our back to guide. You could also put this in your paper cutter if you want and trim off these edges. And there we go. All of this out of the way. Now that looks kind of weird, right? I've got a 2-inch by 5 piece of the polka dotted silver paper, and I'm just going to add this right here, and that's going to finish off this edge. And now our focal point for this starburst is going to be right here, so right here in the center. And let me show you what I made. What do you think? So I've got the bright here made exactly the same way that I made the joy, only I put a 2-inch piece down here. So my starburst is only here instead of all the way around the front of my card. Oh, I didn't do the inside yet, but I'll get that put together. But isn't that pretty? I used some of the Snowflake Splendor iridescent ribbon. I've got a rhinestone for the eye on my bright. Did the same thing with the and Mary. I separated those words, to the world. I stamped these on white. Those are on Highland Heather. I've got a Whisper White layer underneath of this one on my Highland Heather card base. So there you go. 2 different ways to do a starburst technique. And don't forget, this bundle is so much fun, you guys. I think that these are just so, so pretty. You can see I've been playing with it quite a bit here. But this bundle is retiring. I did check in my online store. It is still available. And also, this beautiful Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper is retiring. And if you don't have any of this, or maybe you do have a pack, you might want to stock up with an extra pack, because this is going to be, it's just beautiful, beautiful paper. All right, now don't forget to click down here to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You don't want to miss anything I have coming out. Got a brand new catalog coming. If you're in the US and you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would be happy to earn your business. I would also love to send you the new catalogs that are coming out. Pop me an email right here at kelly@astampabove.com with your address, and I'll be happy to get those in the mail right away. Click right up here to head over to my blog, where you can join me on the blog hop to see what else people made with this starburst technique. I'm really curious to see what these are all going to look like because I think they're going to be so different because of the designer paper. So check that out by clicking up here. I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas if I don't see you online before then. I think I'll be live Sunday night at 7 p.m. Yes, I will. So if you want to join me, go look for A Stamp Above - Your Creative Coach on Facebook, and you can join me for a live stamping class at 7 p.m. Central Time on Sunday night. Otherwise, if you can't make that, you guys have yourselves a very Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.